jib halyard, topping lift, and your screecher / spinnaker halyard.
Captain's log, sea day 2017-0310. It's a beautiful, quiet morning here in Trinidad. We're in Chaguaramas at TTSA, which stands for Trinidad Tobago Sailing Association. This is where we have the boat moored. Captain Paul's going to be stopping by. He's going to take me out and do some more training. It's great having a catamaran and all, but you know, how do you run that thing safely and competently? And I'm used to monohull, so it's really important to get out here and learn the differences. Like, you know, I have 2 engines and the sails are bigger and all the lines are bigger and the boat behaves a little differently. So let's learn all those things and get comfortable behind the wheel, get comfortable at the end of the lines and on the winches. What we're going to do today is motoring. So with the 2 different engines, Captain Paul's going to show me how to control this vessel, just the engines. We're going to lock the steering in place, not use the rudders at all, and make all of our turns with just the engines. So whether it's in forward or 1 in forward and 1 reverse, that kind of thing will help us turn the boat. And what we're going to do is maneuver around in that manner, approach the jetty in that manner, throw some dock lines and dock a few times, and that's the plan anyway. In the afternoon we're going to do some anchoring. So anchoring slightly different because you've got a bridle on a catamaran, so we'll do anchoring 2 or 3 times, and then that's probably going to consume the whole day. And tomorrow what we're going to do is actually sail the boat. It's just me today. Bora couldn't come. So, I'm going to put the camera down and just focus on what Captain Paul has to say. So, I won't catch any of that on film. Can't be worried about, did I get the shot, or is this a good angle? No. Safety and how to run my new boat comes first. So, I'm going to make some breakfast, watch the sunrise, and get ready for Captain Paul to show up for a couple days of training. Turtle Bay, Trinidad. They were just taking a break from lessons. We've anchored out here. We've got this other guy over here, anchored right on top of us. Paul knows the guy. He's a good captain. It's not necessary to ask him to move. Beautiful little bay, Downdy Islands, west tip of Trinidad. Long, successful day. Sailed Downdy Islands. Anchored again. Just sailing back, though. It was tacking into the wind. Wind kicked up. It was like 25 to 27 knots. We had a reef in the main, and the jib was about 2/3 out. And this was actually really good to get these conditions, because in, basic sailing, and then on my coastal cruising class, And even my bareboat charter class, conditions were beautiful. You know, there was like 5 to 10 knots of wind, or, you know, just gorgeous sunshine. So today was good to actually get 25 knots of wind and see how a catamaran handles that, and, you know, what direction does it go when the wind hits the bow and the mainsail. So, great success today. Captain Paul taught me some stuff. It's awesome. Feeling confident about running the boat. Ah, the light of the moon. It's beautiful. Pretty much a full moon tonight. But what we're really looking at here is that flapping, looks like a flag. That is our UV band. Now, during survey, we were aware that the stitching on the UV band was disintegrating, so we knew we needed to replace it. We were looking to hopefully get the boat a little bit closer to bringing it to the States before we replaced the UV band. I think it's going to be necessary to do it right away. So Paul and I are going to take down the jib tomorrow, fold it up and get it over to the guy that does stitching. It's a really reasonable price here in Trinidad, so we'll get that fixed. There's a party going on over there. Yeah, they're jamming the 70s tunes. Yeah, that's okay though. I'm pretty tired. I'm pretty sure I'm just gonna conk out here within seconds. We knew during survey that the stitching on the UV band on the jib was old and deteriorating to the point where it was just disintegrating. So we knew that that was a repair we needed to do. Our hope was to wait until we got just before we left Trinidad. But guess what? It's gonna happen right now, because look what's going on there. And that happened while we were out yesterday. We had 25 to 27 knot winds, and it just started taking it, and look where it's at now. Yeah, we got to get that fixed right away. We don't want to damage the UV band, because the UV band itself is okay, and we can just get that stitching replaced like the surveyor recommended. I think we'll be in good shape.
Right, so what we're going to do, we're going to pull the head sail out.
See where the stitching used to be down this line and all the way to the end here, where it's totally come undone. So, UV band stitching operation in progress. And there's a few spots that we're going to patch. For example, this little edge here, we'll get a patch. This guy right here will get a patch. Yeah, it'll get a patch. So the UV band did its job, really. It's supposed to protect from
the UV's done its job. It's this at 8 years old.
It's done its job
in the Caribbean sun,
but it's still usable. I mean, we don't have to toss it at this point.
I wouldn't toss this yet. I would get patches and fix this.
I'm glad you're here to teach me this stuff. I want to figure this shit out on my own.
Well, like you say, it's.
I mean, I could.
Exactly.
But it's just better when there's somebody that knows on hand.
Right, slide that underneath.
So the main halyard line is going to come through a sheave that goes in this block here. And it's worn. See how it's getting disintegrated at the edges? Going to seek a new one of those. I It's going to be actually hard to find. I did mess around before I came to the boat looking for one, and one that I found was just too wide to fit in here. There's a guy in Washington that'll make one for me, and I'm grabbing it so that I can get all the right measurements and get him turning one on his lathe. So I was looking at just inspecting things, and look at the sheave for Reef 1. That thing is just split wide open, ready to just disintegrate and come off the spool. So got to take that out, and I'm already in business with a sheave guy for the main halyard sheave. So I might have to pound this pin out the back side. There's a screw on the other side holding it in. So on the other side, it looks like the pin is held in with that screw, and let's see what we got there. We've got the pin pounded out most of the way there, so it's letting me get at the Reef 1 sheave. And what I'm going to do is this sheave here is an auxiliary, doesn't go to anything. I'm going to put it in the Reef 1 slot and use it until I've got a brand new one to replace a Reef 1 sheave. I don't think I'm going to sail between now and then, but just in case, I'm going to have a sheave in the Reef 1 slot. So I'm going to do that. Okay. Well, the centerpiece just flew down and into the water. This is the auxiliary sheave that I'm going to put in the Reef 1 slot. It's in good shape. This is the little insert that fell into the water. Surprised me. It was like, hey, guess what? There's an insert in here. I mean, my other sheath had a pressed in, brass bushing, so I kind of wasn't expecting there to be another loose piece inside there. So I got to come up with one of those. Since I need to come up with one, maybe I don't want to install this right now. Yeah. Okay. That's what I need to do. All right.
Next time on Click Boom Sail, we reinstall the repaired jib, the new sheaths, and Bora's back on the helm learning some motoring and some anchoring skills.